Okay, doing VOD review for cheese. Looks like we got black deck, white steak. Looks like we are out of the small blind. Black deck, not a big deal on gold steak. Or sorry, on white steak. Can be trickier on like gold steak. Oh no. Okay, we have the straight there. King through nine straight. That's really looking for two hands of that quality of a straight or a flush to try and get us out. But especially on black deck, actually, I totally forgot we're on black deck. We went too deep for this. Yeah, because now we're in trouble, right? Like you're not clearing even with a flush. You need the straight flush. Yeah, it ain't gonna get you out. We're gonna lose a life here. Obviously, we do want to pick up value from our delayed gratification when possible, but I personally put extremely high value on not losing lives in the blinds. I know you obviously get a minor payout, but it's just not worth it. In this instance, though, we do want to make sure we play to our outs, right? Or play to our best ability. So right here, when we're lining up this flush and we know it's not going to score enough, um, sorry, before that, when we get to this point and we play this hand, the odds of us getting out in one here are astronomical. You need a single card out of the 35 remaining cards, and you can only see another 12 cards. Um, I'd probably actually intentionally just throw it. That way you get the $6, plus you'll get the payout for losing the life. But again, yeah, place higher value on making sure we stay alive. In white stake, you want the game to go as late as possible, usually, to give you the best chance to get to the late game, to get the most value. I'm a big fan of opening packs, personally. Banana's good here, or half Joker. Either or, really. Probably Banana just because it can get you that Cavendish, which is a decent mid-game Joker. But I am a big fan of opening packs. Standard packs is a queue you don't want to fall behind in. Arcana packs, honestly, I feel pretty similar. I don't really want to fall behind in Arcana packs either. You will get your economy. I'm not too worried about having interest on white stake. For some reason, we're immediately discarding with the delayed gratification. I don't know if we just forgot about it this round or what, but with the banana, the whole point of getting the banana is it guarantees we get out with delayed gratification value. No skips worth anything. Nope, nope. Open the packs. Okay. So with that shop, I'm not sure if what we're trying to do is go for just straight value at $25, which I do understand, but I think that's a mistake. We do not want to fall behind in the standard pack queue, especially. Uh, Standard packs are going to provide the cards that win you the game 75% of the time, I'd say, roughly, right? Like, we're looking for something to build around. We need to know how to play this game. In multiplayer, you're ideally building into either a high card build or retrigger. Uh, Retrigger being more common than high card, I'd say. It's just a little easier to set up retrigger than it is to set up high card. But we're not going to know which one we need to go into until we start seeing the signs. Now, sometimes the Joker is the sign. If you see an ancient Joker, it's like, okay, this is going to be a high card or a retrigger seed rather. But those standard packs, we're looking for specific things. We want seals, blue seals, red seals, gold seals, purple seals are all good. I usually take the first blue seal that I find. Planet levels can be ideal early and are especially fantastic once you start building into your late game hand, whether that be high card, flush house, or flush five. They're good for like early game, picking up like 4 of a kind levels that can potentially win you an early PvP. But we're really looking for like polychrome cards, glass cards, red seals. Those will tell you how you're going to play the game to win. Arcana packs also just provide a lot of value. Opening those up get you gold cards, lucky cards, Hermit, Temperance. All of these can provide great value and get you deeper into the Joker queue. Balatro multiplayer is a game of economy. You want to have more money than your opponent. 9 times out of 10, if you have more money than your opponent, you are the one winning the game. Hallucinations, great pickup. Pizza is fantastic here. We have delayed gratification. We get that into the next round, and then we're going to have a lot of money. We didn't need that flush joker. We have enough scoring to get us out of the blinds. And the difference with single player versus multiplayer is, again, it's that economy game. In multiplayer, we don't really care about beating the blinds. It's kind of irrelevant. Like, yes, you have to beat them, but that's all there is to it. When you go into a blind, what you should be thinking about is what is the most amount of value I can get during this blind. Now, currently, we don't have anything in our deck worth getting value, so that means there's no lucky cards, no gold seals, blue seals, or purple seals. What we do have is delayed gratification. If we take that pizza, after literally this blind and PvP, we're going to have 5 discards. That's $10 per round for the next 3 rounds. So we're looking at currently, assuming we keep delayed gratification online, we're looking at $18 next ante instead of 30, right? And that plus 10 on the scoring for the flushes, not that relevant, right? Again, we're looking to play into flush 5s or flush houses, 4 of a kinds. The 10 mult is just not the biggest difference maker. Both of these you're just taking for sell value, so you take the bull. Personally, I'd put that on the mult on the 10, but that's not really a big deal. Pair level's fine. I'd sell the straight flush level. Not a big deal either way, though. I am fine with the wheel there. Personally, I would have actually turned like one of the low cards into a stone card. Stone cards can be quite good at providing extra PvP value in the first PvPs. Those 50 chips can be as large as an X2, if not more, especially in the first PvP, which we're heading into this round. The other thing I'm going to see if you do here is pick up this moon card. Both of these are pickups. Great. So the reason I want to pick up the moon is to win this PvP. One thing to think about with suit changers going into the first PvP, or going into any PvP really, is it's going to give you the ability to play a flush house. So right here, I'm looking at this. Let's say we had that moon card, and I'm like, okay, great. I have queens, and now I just need to find a club card. I probably wouldn't do the 4, just so that we can maximize our discards a little bit, get deeper into our deck. But I'm looking for maybe another queen, and then a club, and another card of that same number or face, right? And then we have that moon card. We turn the 3 non-clubs into it, and we get the flush house. Flush houses off a suit card are going to win you the early PvP most of the time, especially in lower rank games. I found that it's just not something a lot of lower rank players think to look for, but it can be quite valuable. We do need to think about using that hangman at the right time. So like we could be using that to discard 7 cards instead of 5 cards. Just in case you're not aware, the most ideal card I've never seen that pop up before. The most ideal card to hang is 7s because they are statistically the worst card in Balatro. Things you don't want to hang are 6s, kings, queens, jacks, 10s. We want to open them standard packs real bad. Standard pack. Don't need Scholar. Yeah, see, I think, and I know just from chatting with you a little bit on Discord, we're playing this a little too similar to a single player game. We don't need the scoring. It's just not relevant. Yeah, I mean, that flush gets you out easy. You got a lot of extra scoring on this. We want to maximize our economy, maximize our value. We need to open more packs so that we can have more things to do during the blinds. See, we're opening up our first. We don't need these jokers here. It's just we don't. I'd rather pick up that egg. We already have enough scoring to get us out of the blind. We don't need more scoring because we're kind of treating this like it's a single player game, right? Where like in single player, yeah, it's fine to do this because you get enough scoring and get through the blinds. That's really all you need to do. In multiplayer, you need to be digging as deep as possible. In the shop queue specifically, as well as the Arcana queue and the standard pack queue. Temperance is great here. The way to see, we're picking the wrong Arcana card. We're treating this like single player. Both of these cards are better. Empress is F tier Joker. It's F tier Arcana card. It doesn't really do anything. Flat Molt is only going to help you in like the first ante or so, and then it just doesn't matter, right? We're looking to build into X Molt, into retriggers, into high cards. This Temperance, $13, fantastic. I mean, that's decent return on your $4 investment. This Devil card is also really good. I'd probably take the $13 Temperance over the Devil. But it is debatable because we don't have a gold card yet. And gold cards are really good. You go into retriggers, you get golden ticket, and you can print hundreds of dollars around. But yeah, Empress is on the lowest of cards that you're going to pick up. I don't open planet packs this early just because we don't have any planet that we really want to build around yet, so there's no point. Yes. That's great. Now, are we going to play it to discard all 4? That's the question. We can easily get out of the blind. So I don't want to see you discard. I want to see you play here. Yeah, see, that's the trick. So, again, this is just another little difference from single player to multiplayer. Instead of discarding that last hand, play it. I don't care if you score 300 points. It doesn't matter. You just have to get out. That $5 discard of the ace is worth more. Now, in this instance, we did draw all 4 of our aces, and that's pretty lucky because we still have over 30 cards left in our deck. But most of the time, we're going to want to dig even deeper by playing hands. So you can think of the hands that you have to play as additional discards rather than thinking them as hands, right? We just need one hand to get us out of the blind. And here's what I was talking about earlier. We now know our game plan. We have the Ancient Joker. Gift card, fantastic here. We don't need, let's say, that any of these 3 jokers, or honestly, you can drop any of these 4 jokers for that gift card. Especially on Black Stake, that gift card is going to give you $6 extra around for your Temperance value. You can get that Temperance up to $50 easy. Take the negative. Yep, additional temperance value. Grab the gift card, open the standard pack, do both, do both. We're so behind in the standard pack queue. Purple seal. We don't need the holographic. Holographic, again, it's kind of like the Empress. It's flat molt. It's not worth picking up. We don't want to flood our deck with these cards that we don't need. Okay, so now that we are at this point, I'm going to kind of recap my most important lesson I think I can provide, which is every time we go into a blind, we want to get as much value from our deck as possible. So in this instance, we have two sources of value. We're going to get out with a flush with Ancient Joker. That's not a problem. We know that. We have mail-in rebate, so we're looking to discard whatever card that's on, and we have purple seal. So we want to use our hands to play down at like their discards, right? It doesn't matter if they only score 200, 300 points. We want to use those to find the cards that we need to discard and use our discards for the cards that will actually provide us with value. Now, PvP round can be a little different. In this instance, I don't think that's the case. See, I think we're wasting our discards a little bit here. We could have played that flush, no reason not to. And that had given us the ability to dig for more 10s, dig for that purple seal. Also, we've been holding on to this Hangman for 10 years. We just throw away, hit it on that 5 and that 3. Turn a 3-card discard into a 5-card discard, 5-card discard into a 7-card discard. Ideally, I'd have played the flush there after using the Hangman, and we get to see 7 new cards. Dig even deeper into the deck. Straight flush is nice. But we didn't make any money this blind. We didn't get our purple blind, anything. It's your opponent almost certainly has more money than you do. Surprising, but good. Winning's always good. I still don't think we need to be opening planet packs. I know it can be a little contradictory with the Ancient Joker, but we actually still don't really want to build into flushes. Flushes will get us out of the blinds, right? Especially on white stake, we're going to have enough scoring for the rest of the game. Not going to matter. What we actually want to be building into, though, is flush houses or flush 5s. So we want to be looking to manipulate our deck, usually into like a face card. Jacks is pretty ideal because you can strength 10s up into jacks and have additional face cards. Face cards usually providing more value for things like business card or faceless joker, which is why going jacks a lot can be seen as like a good result. The other thing we can look to play into is like 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s if we see a hack. Really what we're looking for is to open up all the standard packs, open up all the spectral packs, and find a red seal. Because that's the card we're going to want to build around if we can find a red seal. Now here is very interesting. There is one absolutely correct play here, which is to onk the Ancient Joker. We sell everything off because these jokers just don't matter, and we onk the Ancient Joker. You're thinking about it. Oh no, we definitely don't want to play aces. I could see using a familiar potentially just because we don't have any value in the deck and it can provide you with some cards that give you value. Oh yeah, we want to onk. That honestly, that might lose us the game if our opponent does that play. All right, we're looking to discard queens and discard that, which is great. Again, play your hands. We have a whole discard. We have 3 additional hands. We should be digging for additional queens. Yeah, we're just losing a lot of value. Losing a lot of money. Standard pack. Don't need the planet pack. Again, flush levels just don't really matter. Standard pack's where we want to be. Gloss card's fine. Purple seal's good too. With gloss cards and Ancient Joker, it's a bit interesting because you're basically looking to play two different hands. You're going to have like your main hit, which is building into that glass card, and then you're going to want to have like a secondary hit, which is going to be, you know, like something that you've put lovers on. But yeah, we don't want to play into the aces. The Scholar is just not enough. That Cryptid was kind of a waste. We basically never play into aces, especially on white stake. It's going to be face cards or a hack seed, 100%. Good, I like playing this hand. Oh, my video's lagging. There we go. I liked playing that hand, though. We don't care about the scoring. We are now digging for sevens. Oh, yes. Very happy with you. I want you to dig one hand deeper even. But that is it, though. That is the first time I think this match I've seen you do that the correct way, which is play your extra hands down to look for those cards you need to discard. Take it. Take the red seal. Yes. Fantastic. We put a lovers on that. We don't even care what number it is. Don't need any of this crap. It's all crap. Our deck is too large. We still have this Hangman. We got to get rid of that. And by get rid of it, I mean use it. Bit interesting here. We're going to see if your opponent onked the Ancient Joker pretty quickly. Good, discarding 10s. I just rip that flush. Like, why not? We don't want to discard 2 cards. We want to get more value. Yeah, play that sucker. Chaired or not, doesn't really matter. 94K, that might be... Let's see, that's an additional 1.5 to the 5th, so that might be an onked Ancient Joker with no retriggers. Again, just on the pair of 3s, rip the Hangman, you know, just put it on a card we just don't need. But our deck is too huge. Ideally, you want your deck to be the size that, like, by the end of the game, that you can see every card in your deck in the PvP rounds. So you can always find your hand. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Keep the clubs. Don't play that glass card. Like, play the 98753. That way the glass card doesn't get played. Whoa. I'm not sure what we're doing there, but don't play glass unless you have to. I think maybe you're going for the straight, but really we should just be digging for another flush at that point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your opponent's on double Ancient. I'm going to kind of speed through it a little bit here because, I mean, the main lessons are the important ones. Temperance has got to be nice. Yeah, 22 bucks. Open both of those. I know we have a red seal, but you just never stop opening standard packs. Blue seal. Cool. Nice. Good pickup. And we don't need that. Extra fill. I get it, but we don't need it. Our deck is just too large. 62 cards, you know. One way to think about it, right? We start with these 8 cards in our hand. Let's say we maximize our value, which means 3 full discards, 3 full hands before our final hand. That's 30 additional cards we get to see. 35 for the final hand. We're still going to have like 20 cards left in our deck that we don't get to see. So the probability of us seeing the exact cards we want is extremely low. So we really want to make sure we use that Hangman. We've been blocking it this whole time too, which is really bad. You can never see another Hangman if you're holding a Hangman unless you have Showman. So yeah, we're just blocking our ability to reduce the size of our deck. Oh, you know mime is good. That's good. I'd grab, I mean, all right, so right there, just another quick lesson. We do want this strength, right? Like I said, we want to be playing in like a flush house or a flush five, so we need the strength cards to be different than what they are. I want to open this spectral pack. I then want to use the hangman on 2 cards in there. You pop the emperor, see what I have, and then be able to buy the strength afterwards. I don't expect we'd be wraithing here. I just don't want to roll down, quite honestly, and I don't think we're going to onk at this point. It's just too late in the game with 1 life. So you don't need to roll all the way down to open the spectral pack. Since you did, we can wraith. But yeah, we grab a aura probably. But pop that hangman. Get rid of that 4 and that 2. We also need to pop the hangman so we can just use the emperor. And we needed to find out what that red card was. I'm not sure if we're going to actually get the opportunity to do that or not. I mean, again, we got this bull up here. Honestly, these 4 jokers, just not worth it. With that being the X2 on the flush. X2 is just not enough, especially on a retrigger build. I will send you a Joker tier list for multiplayer. It's, again, a little different than single player. Some Jokers obviously translate quite well no matter what. But I'll send that to you, and it kind of hopefully will help explain what are some of the better Jokers and what to be going for. There's the red seal. Okay. Pop that hangman, open that emperor. If we get an enhancement, we put it on that red seal. If we leave here without knowing what the red seal is, it's real bad. Yeah, see, we're just not using our tarot cards, which is not good, right? Now we have to sell something to get this temperance, which we absolutely want because that's a lot of money. Yeah, see, we're just selling that now. Oh, we could have deathed the red seal. Oh, gosh, that would have been real good with Ancient Joker. Okay, Death Fool. Absolutely buy that. Buy the Fool, don't use it. Death Fool. That's 3 red seals. That's 3 additional triggers on your Ancient Joker. That is the strongest thing you can do, is get more red seals. Now, you do need to find an enhancement to turn that red seal into an actual card, ideally a Lover's. But that's what you're looking for, is re-triggers. We need that Fool. Again, I'm going to kind of push through the blinds a little bit because there's not much different I can tell you than that we want to maximize our value. Again, you've kind of definitely started to understand that with like the mail-in rebate. I saw you play that hand. There's the Fool again. Yeah, and again, I think we're just kind of playing this like a single player game. We're just playing for flushes, which in single player is going to win you a seed pretty easy, right? Like, you don't need to maximize your Ancient Joker. You can just have different suits in there, and you're going to win in a single player seed. But in multiplayer, most of the time, your opponent's going to be playing a better hand than a flush. They're going to be playing it with red seals, with re-triggers, and I mean, honestly, like this seed, we should have double Ancient Joker. We should have a lot more money. A solid player is going to be scoring E12 or something, most likely, with a seed like this. So just something to work on is knowing what our end game build is. I mean, I'm opening both of these. We don't need that. Observatory's not good. We need our tarot slots. Just kind of wasting the money there, unfortunately. I mean, it's better than nothing, $5, but I don't think that was too necessary. I mean, I want the Arcana pack more than that, honestly. All right. Yeah, see, again, we never found out what this is, and that's pretty sad. Hopefully you take a look at your opponent's deck at the end here. Honestly, that's quite a low score. I'm a little surprised. Yeah, they did onk the Ancient Joker. They just never found an additional retrigger. They definitely had more money, though. I'm guessing we don't take a look at their deck. Okay. Let me show you one additional thing. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to show you was the log parser. If you haven't used it before, it's a very handy tool. It can help you kind of determine how well you played the seed compared to your opponent. So what to do is go to the Balatro multiplayer website, and you go to Tools and Log Parser. From here, you just have to drop your file in. Now, I've bookmarked this log folder, but if you want to see the file path, it's in your user data, app data, roaming, Balatro, mods, lovely log. And then I'm just going to grab a random log here, but when you log into Balatro, it will make one of these logs every single time. So once you've played a game, you can load the data, and this is what I've been talking about as far as money being the most important thing in multiplayer, because it lets you see deeper into the shop. So you can see I dominated this opponent here, it looks like. I re-rolled my shop 62 times compared to their 27, so I saw super deep into the shop. Over here on the right side, it's going to show you shop spending, and you can see, again, I had near double the amount of money as my opponent, a little bit less. It'll also show you the PvPs that have happened, so you can see I even lost some of the PvPs. I won the early one. My guess is I did something like a flush house, like I was talking earlier, just based off the scoring of 15 grand to 5. I lost the second one, lower score, so quite possibly I, threw it away for economy. That's totally fine to do sometimes. And then you can see I just started outscaling them pretty good here, and then again probably threw it for economy, and then just E12 to E7, or E8. It's just not even close. Um, and all of that's because of the money that I have, right? Like, I've spent so much more money than them. Um, I mean, you can kind of see in the final build, it's actually decently close. Um, Apparently, I had some crap jokers. Not sure why, but you can see we both had Idle, Hack Dusk, Hanging Chad, but I found the photograph. They didn't. So even though I had to spend an additional, couple $100, re-rolled 30 more times, that's what made the difference. It took a long time, it looks like, for that difference to get made, but it did make the difference. Now, unfortunately, one thing this doesn't show you is the decks. I'm betting my deck was a little bit more fine-tuned than them. I used more tarot cards, things like that, because I also had the crystal ball and they didn't. I had more vouchers. But this log parser tool is really good at showing you, like, okay, I spent more. I re-rolled my shot more than my opponent. I dug deeper. If you re-rolled more than your opponent and you spent more money than your opponent and you still lost, you probably misplayed at some point in the seed. Whether that's not evaluating your jokers right, not maximizing your tarot cards correctly, it's hard to say. Those are the things that can definitely help with like VOD review. But again, the big thing is definitely to start is to work on maximizing your economy. So yeah, I'll send you over a like Joker spreadsheet that kind of shows you what are some of the great Jokers in multiplayer, specifically tailored for multiplayer. And then again, the single most important thing I can tell you is every time you enter a blind, you are trying to determine, how do I get out of this blind, getting as much value from my deck as possible? Whether that be, how do I make the most money? How do I dig for my purple seals? Things like that. How do I use my tarot cards I have? But we definitely need to work on just that, which is maximizing value in the blinds, and then using our tarot cards, right? Things like that. Like we had that Hangman the entire game, and we eventually sold it without even using it. We want to thin our deck, which means we can find our better cards more consistently. And every time you're holding onto that tarot card, you're blocking it from getting used. So yeah, I'll shoot this video over to you. And then if you have any questions, definitely please feel free to reach out and let me know. Happy to chat about things, and I hope it helps. Definitely, just take your time thinking about these things through your games, and you should be able to see some pretty quick improvement. Thanks.